So the first thing you want to do is replace the door strut, and if that doesn't get the door to open properly, it may need adjustment of the torsion bar, which is a little more involved. We usually recommend putting a metal bottle on it since it's a pressurized tank.
Like I guess they make them out of stainless or aluminum?
Yep. This is all stock, so on front you're running a 195 60-14 tire, 235 60-15 in the rear. We did a dress package to this, so we powder coat 5 pieces of the motor intake, W pipe, the 2 valve covers and the timing cover, and then we take off and plate everything that we can.
All right, hit it.
Just stock exhaust, 12,000 mile car that's really been gone through and it's in nice shape. Typical for them to hunt until they get warm. It'll do that for up to 5 minutes depending on the temperature. But I'm gonna go after right now this deep scratch right there.
Same pressure here to here, the same exact time.
It's putting the same amount to all 6 cylinders all the time.
So are you affiliated? Like, how does that work at the company level? Because I know there's DeLorean Texas.
Yep.
You're DeLorean Midwest.
Yep. So we're considered an independently owned franchise of DeLorean Motor Company.
Okay.
Texas. So basically we get a weekly shipment of parts. They're very similar to us in repair volume, but they do much more. They have a much larger facility as far as parts warehouse.
Okay. Now, how many others are there like you? Is Texas, you?
There's a shop in Orlando, and then there's a shop in California as well.
Where in Cali, you know?
Huntington Beach. If you go to DeLorean.com, you can see everybody's phone number and locations for the 4 shops in the U.S.
Correct me if I'm wrong. DeLorean Motor Company, as it stands today, is completely separate. Had nothing to do with the original.
They are different.
The corporate structure is completely
right. That the original company is out of business, and we're taking on the name, but it is a new company.
Folklore has it that the British government dumped all the dyes in the ocean. True, false? What do you think?
The dyes for the stainless panel are in the bottom of the Galway Bay. My contention is that I'm not part of the conspiracy theory crowd. I think it was sold off as scrap metal, and but it is holding down nets, so there could be an argument to. We have seen photos of them getting dumped into the Galway Bay, and we have actually had customers who dove on the sites and found the old stainless. The sheet metal dyes down there.
So they did.
So they are there.
So that's the answer. They are in there.
Why they're there is a good question, but yes, they are there.
So you can confirm they are in the bay.
Yep.
And I guess nobody wants to go get them.
Yeah. Well, at this point, they'd probably be too damaged to be usable. But.
I still have the belief once something's built once, it could be built again if you're that damn desperate.
Yeah, I mean, dyes could be remade. Yeah.
But as of now, you guys got plenty of parts. I didn't film in a lot in the storage room where other customers are storing cars.
Every piece of sheet metal is available. There's 8 pieces on the car, and all pieces are available other than the left front fender.
Now, the number I was told when I was talking in the truck coming up here is the amount of parts that they made too many. Like they made a lot more than a normal manufacturer does.
Some stuff, they had hoped to build 25,000 cars a year. And in the time the company was open, they built 9,000, about 9,100 cars in about its 18-month production. And so some of the parts there is a huge surplus on that we'll probably have for many years to come.
So I was told or read or somewhere that the average car company makes 3 to 1, meaning 3 parts, and they actually build 1 car out of the 3 parts. That way you have crash parts for the brand new. Like if you bought a 2019 Ford Expedition and you crash it and it's 3 months old, where are you getting a fender for that thing?
Right.
I was told DeLorean did like 5 to 1 or something like that. Is that,
yeah, well,
is that true to your knowledge?
Well, back then it was totally different. Now you want, back then they did warehousing of parts, where nowadays you want the parts to come into the warehouse, they time it to where they come into the warehouse and they're going onto the production line within days.
Yeah, that's what we truck drivers call just-in-time freight.
Yeah, that isn't the case in the 80s. They had a warehouse full of parts and they would stock it as things got depleted. And since they never produced anywhere near the cars they had hoped to, some of the stuff there is still a really good supply of. I'd say I was talking with you earlier saying that I think about 70% of the car is available as new old stock parts. So factory parts that are still around and yet to be used on the car. I'd say about 20% of the commonly used brakes and rubber parts, the wear items on the car are being reproduced and are available as new parts. And then there's probably 10% of the car that is salvage only. So a car that's approaching 40 years old, 90% availability on parts is pretty good.
And you guys don't throw anything away like that burnt up one. If you were to actually redo that, all the burnt up parts that you think are probably garbage, like obviously if they're destroyed, they're gone, but sure, anything salvageable off the car, some of the oddball components like that rear suspension piece like I was talking about, that would be available through salvage. Yep. Obviously for price, but yep, you guys don't throw.
We also try to stock the parts that are hard to find. Like for instance, one of the hardest to find parts is the left front fender. I have 4. 2 of them have been refurbished and could be bolted on a car today. 2 of them would need some metal work. If they were the last ones on Earth, you could have them worked to be usable. So I will pay for those parts just so they're in stock. When that crash car comes in, we have the stuff to get it back on the road.
We spent a lot of time in the shop and in the storage room looking at the different cars and so on, different components and pieces and all of that whatnot. So let's go ahead and check out the showroom and then we'll call it a day. I guess the man probably wants to get some work done other than talking to us all day. This one's pretty much all stock, right? Oh yeah, it is, because it's got the original tires on it still, I noticed.
Yep. This is another one rolling on NCT tires.
He's referring to the NCT tires is right here. These tires are original from 1981. They are quite hard. Obviously it's not gonna feel, you're not gonna see how it feels, but you could tell if you're running your hand on them. They are quite hard, but they are original. So if you're trying to keep it absolutely original and not drive it much, that'd be the way to go as far as collector's item stuff goes. It's dirt, not a nail.
He was the longest employed person at DeLorean Motor Company.
Oh, there's
So he
Barry Wills here.
Yep. He spun down the factory after it went into receivership by someone else. And that one's been out forever, stainless steel illusion. It's pretty accurate. Deep detail.
These original or these
The box
remade?
is original and all the chemicals inside have been redone.
Keeping your DeLorean beautiful, stainless steel car care kit. Oh, I guess you don't want those to lock off. And I made the joke earlier, DeLorean does share something with Lamborghini Huracan. No cup holders. Remanufactured lower control arm. They make these because the old ones are not available and kind of weak. And in rims, everything your DeLorean needs. All right, Mike, we're going to blast up out of here.
All right.
Thank you very much for your time.
Sure thing.
Excellent.
Thanks for coming.
Now I know who to see.
All right. If you need one, we're here for you for parts or whatever you need.
Absolutely. Long story short, guys, if you're looking for DeLorean, especially you're here in the Midwest or even anywhere else in the country, this is the place to be. Mike right here is obviously quite knowledgeable in the car. I mean, you'd think he built it the way he's explaining stuff to me. He made that fuel system sound very easy to work on. I mean, it's understandable now. We're just based on other channels that I've seen, never really understood it. Now it makes much more sense to me now that I've seen one and heard one run. I mean, come on, guys. Mike's the DeLorean guy. I mean, with that, let's go ahead and make our outro and roll on out of here. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video was more informative for any prospective DeLorean buyers. I have set a goal in my life that somehow, some way, I'm going to own one of these cars before I die. I have multiple places to look. I can buy one from Mike if I wanted one, just turnkey, drive it right to Freedom, Wisconsin, from here, about 3-hour ride, no problems. Or I could find one that needs work, do the work myself. Mike showed me a good amount of stuff around here. I feel confident in my ability to work on these cars, and obviously if I have any problems with them, I know where to go. If I have certain parts or find hard to find parts, obviously, again, I know where to go to get parts. Right here. Talk to Mike, he knows how to get them. With that being said, I am Steve Fesjack. This is FSC, Fesjack Speed and Custom Shop. We're here at DeLorean Midwest in Illinois. What else can I do for you?